A 9-year-old child wakes up one morning to learn that her mother is gone forever. 18 years later, that mother returns. With a single message, "Hello, I'm Rachel Kane. This is the Confession Room. The story you're about to hear today. Perhaps begins with the most difficult decision a mother can make, and a morning that forever changed a child's life. If you've ever asked yourself, why did she leave me? This story will feel very familiar. My 27-year-old guest will ask this question out loud for the first time today, a question she's kept inside for 18 years, and the answer? She's only found half of it. But first, let me ask you, if you were in her place, would you give a second chance to the mother who abandoned you? The answer to this question will become even more complex by the end of this story. Now, I'll let my guest speak.
My mother abandoned me when I was 9 years old. I still remember that day very clearly. I had a teddy bear in my hand. The bear's ear was torn because I always squeezed it, as if I were holding my mother's hand. That bear's name was Bruno. My mother bought it for me when I was 3. "When Mommy's not here, Bruno will protect you," she had said. How ironic, right? That morning, everything was different from normal. My mother didn't make breakfast. Usually, she would make me toast, spread honey on it, and put orange juice beside it. But that morning, the kitchen was empty. She was just talking on the phone, angry. She was raising her voice, but I couldn't understand who she was talking to. "I can't take this anymore," she was saying. "This is too hard. I'm too young for this." I didn't understand then, of course. But now I know she was talking to my father. She was telling him about her decision to divorce. And that she was leaving me with him when she hung up. She saw me. There was a strange expression on her face, as if she didn't recognize me, or as if she didn't know what to do when she saw me. "You'll be late for school," she said. There was urgency in her voice. Now I understand. She wanted to send me away. For the last time, she kissed me, but so carelessly, as if she was kissing me for the first time or the last time. Her lips were cold. Her eyes were elsewhere, as if she had already left. "I love you," she said. But this, "I love you," was different. Usually, she would say, "I love you so much, sweetheart." This time it was just, "I love you." Period. As if she was fulfilling a duty. On my way to school, I kept turning back. My mother was standing at the window. She waved at me, for the last time. But I didn't know that it was a normal day at school. In math class, they were teaching the 7 times table. Math was my favorite subject. My mother would do math with me every evening. "My daughter is very smart," she would say. "Maybe she become an engineer when she grows up." During lunch break, my friends were talking about the meals their mothers made. I was telling them about my mother's lasagna. She always made lasagna on Mondays, but I didn't know she wouldn't make it that Monday. I was very happy walking home from school. The math teacher had praised me. I had so many things to tell my mother. I ran home. When I opened the door, my father was standing there. He had come home early from work. This was very strange. My father never came home early from work. He was wearing a tie and a suit, but his face was very pale. When he saw me, his eyes turned red, as if he was about to cry. But I had never seen my father cry. "Sweetheart," he said. "Come sit down. I need to talk to you." My heart started pounding. Children know, don't they? They sense when something is wrong. "Where's Mommy?" I asked. "Your mother ... single quotes," he said. His voice was shaking. "Your mother went on a little vacation. When will she come back?" "I don't know, sweetheart. I don't know." But her suitcase wasn't there. Her clothes were still in the closet. Her perfume still lingered in the air. Her brush was in the bathroom. I could see her hair clips on the dresser. If she had gone on vacation, why hadn't she taken any of her things? That night, I couldn't sleep in my bed. I went to my mother's room. My father was in the living room watching TV, but there was no sound, just colored lights reflecting on his face. I got into my mother's bed. Her pillow still carried her scent, that lavender perfume. I hugged the pillow tightly. I thought maybe that scent would bring her back. The next morning, my father tried to make breakfast. He burned the toast. He poured orange juice. But nothing was like my mother made it. He put too much honey. The orange juice was too cold. Will Mommy come today? I asked. Maybe, he said. Maybe she come today. When I returned from school, only my father was there again. His eyes were even redder, as if he hadn't slept all night. Did Mommy come? No, sweetheart, but she'll come tomorrow. The third day she didn't come again. The fourth day too. The fifth day too. A week passed. My father was no longer saying, she'll come tomorrow. He just said, I don't know. Or he said nothing at all. The second week was even worse. I could no longer smell my mother's scent. I would smell her pillow every day, but the scent was fading. As if my mother was really disappearing. My father wasn't going to work. He was staying home. He wasn't shaving. He was walking around in pajamas. Sometimes he would make phone calls. Very loud conversations. Where could she be? He would say, how could she do this? The child keeps asking. One night there was a knock at the door. I ran to it. I thought my mother had returned, but I saw my grandmother. Her eyes were swollen from crying. And my father talked for a long time. They sent me to my room, but I was listening behind the door. She left a letter, Grandmother was saying. She said she couldn't take it anymore, that she was too young, not ready, that she loved someone else, that she loved someone else. This sentence echoed in my head. My mother loved someone else, not me and my father. The third week, they took me out of school. My teacher, Miss Johnson, called me. Sweetheart, she said, there are some problems at home, aren't there? My mother went on vacation, I said. I was still trying to believe what my father had said. How are you feeling? No one had asked me this question. How was I feeling? As if I was empty inside. As if a part of me had been torn away. As if the world had turned grey. I don't know, I said. Miss Johnson hugged me. From that hug, I understood. My mother had really left. Really. Forever. That night, I stopped talking. Completely. My father tried to talk to me, but I looked at him as if there was a glass wall between us. Sounds were coming, but I didn't understand them. I didn't want to understand, because what he said hurt me even more. We moved to Grandmother's house. Grandmother's house was small. My room was the room where my mother used to stay. There were my mother's childhood photos on the wall. I looked at them. I wondered if she had wondered about her mother when she was little too. Grandmother constantly made me food. Cookies, cake, soup, pasta. She was trying to feed me, but I just squeezed. That tawny-eared Bruno, I couldn't let go of him. As if letting go would make my mother really disappear. I cried at night, but silently. As if making noise would make my mother go even further away. I would bury myself in the pillow. I couldn't breathe. My chest hurt. As if my heart had shrunk in. My dreams, my mother was always there. Dreams where she came back. Dreams where she took me to school. Dreams where she did math with me. But when I woke up in the morning, there was only Grandmother again. One day, Grandmother took me to the hospital. A doctor talked to me. He was a very kind man. He gave me toys. He asked me to draw a picture. I drew a house. There were 3 people in the house. Grandmother, my father, and me. But my mother wasn't there. Where is your mother? He asked. drew a big X on the paper. Then I scribbled over it with paint. My mother wasn't there. She wasn't anywhere. What do you think about your mother? He asked. I couldn't say anything, because thinking about my mother hurt so much. As if there was a wound inside me, and it was constantly bleeding. At that age, you question everything. Was I a bad child? Did I cry too much? Was I too naughty? Did I make too much noise? Did I ask too many questions? Or was I unwanted even when I was born? Maybe my mother never wanted to be a mother. Maybe I had ruined her life. These questions grew in my head. When I was 10, 11, 12, I constantly blamed myself. I wished I had been a better girl. I wished I had been less trouble. I wished I had never been born. When I returned to school, my friends acted differently, as if they didn't understand me. They talked about their mothers. I stayed silent. They knew their mothers would greet them when they went home, I thought. About grandmother. In middle school, everything became even harder. My friends were making Mother's Day cards. I was sitting at the table. The teacher said to me, "You make one for your grandmother." But grandmother wasn't my mother. Grandmother was a very good person. She loved me. But when I had nightmares at night, I called for my mother's voice, not grandmother's. I didn't make a Mother's Day card. At home, I said to grandmother, "I'm sorry. I love you, but you're not my mother." Grandmother cried. She hugged me. "I know, sweetheart. I know. When I was 12, I got my period. Grandmother explained everything to me, that I wanted my mother to be with me at this important moment. My mother should have been telling me these things. In high school, only my father came to every parent-teacher conference. Other kids asked, "Where's your mother?" At first, I said she's working. Then I said she's sick. Then I said she's dead. Because this was easier. Getting pitying looks was easier than getting the question, "Why did she leave you?" Because that question was killing me. Death was a more reasonable reason. People could understand it. But abandonment was too personal. A mother who abandons her child is a bad mother. And I was the daughter of that bad mother. When I was 14, I had my first boyfriend, Michael. He was a very sweet boy, but I couldn't talk about my mother even with him. His mother loved me very much. She invited me to their house. She tried to mother me, but this hurt even more, because it came to life before my eyes. So this was what mothering was like. Caring about your child, being interested in them, being there for them. Why hadn't my mother done these things? Michael's mother asked me, "What is your mother like?" I don't remember her, I said. I was too young, but I was lying. I remembered everything. Her voice, her scent, her laughter, her kisses, her hands, her hair. Everything. And these memories were driving me crazy. When I was 15, my father remarried a woman named Karen. Karen was a good woman. She was kind to me, but she was trying to mother me, and I couldn't allow that, because I already had a mother somewhere, and if I called someone else mother, I would really lose her. Karen tried to understand me. "I know it's difficult," she would say, "but I'm here for you." But I wasn't there for her. I was only there for my mother. Still. By the time I turned 16, I had stopped thinking about her. Or so I thought, because thinking hurt too much. I had made a safe in my head. I had put everything about my mother in that safe, and I had locked it. But sometimes at night, that safe would open by itself, and all the memories would spill out. On those nights, I would bury myself in the pillow. I couldn't breathe, as if I was drowning. Then that message came. A notification on Facebook. From someone I didn't know. I looked at the profile picture. It looked familiar, but I couldn't figure out who it was. I opened the message. Are you my daughter? The world spun. My heart felt like it would stop. My hands were shaking. I was about to drop the phone. 18 years. For 18 years, there had been no sound. No message, no call, no card, no gift. Not even on my birthday. Nothing. And now a Facebook message. I looked at the profile picture again. I still remembered her face. She had aged. Her hair was shorter. Lines had appeared. But her eyes were the same. Those eyes were still the same. I closed and opened the phone screen. The message was still there. I wasn't dreaming. I was going to reply to her. I was going to write, "Yes, I'm your daughter. Where were you for 18 years? Then I deleted it. It seemed too angry. I wrote, "Hello, mother." Then I deleted that too. It seemed too affectionate. I wrote, "I know who you are." Then I deleted that too. For 3 days, I read the message. I didn't reply. I just read it. Are you my daughter? As if she wasn't sure. As if she didn't recognize me. Finally, I wrote, "Yes, I'm your daughter." She replied immediately. As if she was holding the phone. As if she was waiting for me. My God, you've grown so much. You're so beautiful. How had she seen my photo? She had looked at my profile. She was stalking me. For how long? Thank you, I wrote. What else could I write? Can we talk? On the phone? My heart started pounding. I hadn't heard her voice for 18 years. How would I feel? Could I handle it? Okay, I wrote. She immediately started calling. My hand was shaking. I answered. Single quotes, "Hello, sweetheart," she said. "Sweetheart," she said. After 18 years. As if we had talked yesterday. Her voice was the same. But at the same time, it was foreign too. Because that voice had remained in my childhood memory. Now I had grown up, but that voice was still talking to that 9-year-old girl. "Hello," I said. My voice wasn't coming out. It was whispering. "I missed you so much," she said. "I thought about you every day." If she thought about me every day, why? Had 18 years passed? Why now? Why today? Where were you? I asked. This was my first real sentence. It was a very difficult time, she said. I was too young. I wasn't ready. Even my own mother didn't mother me. This sentence made me very angry. She was making excuses about her own mother. As if it wasn't her fault, but I was your child, I said. I was your responsibility. I know. She said, I know, sweetheart, and this hurts me every day. I regret it every day. Then why now? Why did you come exactly now? There was a long silence, as if she was thinking of the answer, or preparing it. Because I'm ready now, she said. Because I can be a mother now. This sentence made me very sad. Because I was already 16 years old. The period when I needed mothering had passed. She wasn't there during that period. It's too late, I said. It's too late. I know. But at least we can meet. Can I get to know you? Can I get to know you? As if we were strangers. As if she hadn't given birth to me. As if she hadn't been in my life for 9 years. Let's meet, she said. In a cafe. I want to see you. I was curious. Very curious. What had she been doing for 18 years? How had she lived? Had she ever missed me? Okay, I said. Let's meet. On the day of the meeting, my stomach was churning. I couldn't eat anything. My hands were shaking. I had built thousands of scenarios in my head. Maybe she would apologize. Maybe she would explain. Maybe she would cry. When I entered the cafe, I saw her. She was sitting in the corner. When she saw me, she stood up. Her face was smiling, but her eyes were crying. "My daughter," she said. "My daughter." She came towards me. She wanted to hug me. I froze. I wanted to hug her, but I also wanted to run away. We hugged. Her scent was still the same. That lavender perfume. Her body was thinner. Her hair was different, but her scent was the same. I was crying. She was crying too. But we were crying for different reasons. She was crying from regret. I was crying from loss that we sat down. She was looking at me, as if she wanted to memorize. "Me, you've become so beautiful," she said. "So grown up. My little girl." Your little girl had remained 18 years ago. Now I was a big girl, and she wasn't there when I was growing up. "How are you?" she said. "How is school? Do you have friends? Is there someone you like?" These questions made me very angry, because the one asking them wasn't a mother. It was a stranger woman. Real mothers know these things, because they are there. "I'm fine," I said. "Everything is fine." "Are you angry with your father?" she asked. "Why would I be angry with my father? He never left. He was always by my side." Fell silent. She understood. The person I was angry with was her. "I know you're angry with me," she said. "You have every right. I made a very big mistake." "It wasn't a mistake," I said. "You made a choice." "You're right. I made a choice. A bad choice." "Why?" I asked. "Why did you leave?" She explained at length that she was too young, that she wasn't ready, that she hadn't seen mothering from her own mother, that she had problems with my father, that she loved someone else, that she loved someone else. This sentence still hurt. "Are you happy with him?" I asked. "We got married," she said. "We have 2 children. We have 2 children. I had siblings." "I didn't know this. Are they my siblings?" I asked. "Yes," she said. "But you're my first baby. You're the most special. You're the most special." But she had abandoned me. If I was so special, why had she left? "Will you abandon them too?" I asked. "No," she said. "Never. I'm ready now. I can be a mother now." This sentence hurt me very much, because I understood. She could mother them. But she couldn't mother me. She was ready for them. She wasn't ready for me. "Can we continue to meet?" she asked. "I want to get to know you." "Okay," I said, because I wanted to get to know her too. Because she was my mother. Still, we started meeting. Regularly, we met on weekends. Sometimes she invited me to her house. I wanted to see her new home. Her house was big. A house with a garden. Children's toys were everywhere. The walls were full of photos. But I wasn't in those photos. Only they were there. Her new family. I met my siblings. Emma was 5, Jake was 7. They were very sweet children. They looked a lot like me. Especially Emma. She was like my younger self. I watched how she mothered them. How she made breakfast in the morning. Prepared them for school. Helped with homework. Read stories. Kissed them. Hugged them. I had never seen any of this. I had never experienced it. Emma hurt her knee. She was crying. My mother took her in. Her arms, blew on her wound, kissed it. "Mommy's here," she said. "Mommy's here. Don't be afraid." At that moment, something broke inside me, because I had fallen many times too. I had cried many times, but my mother wasn't there. My mother, hadn't said Mommy's here, because she really wasn't there. Jake couldn't do his homework. He was getting frustrated. My mother sat next to him, patiently explained, smiling with love. She never yelled. She never got angry. My grandmother had helped with my homework. Or my father. Or I did it alone. My mother had never helped. Because she wasn't there. When putting them to bed at night. She read them fairy tales. She softened her voice. She stroked their hair. Sweet dreams, she said. I love you. She used to read me fairy tales too. Before. But those fairy tales had remained unfinished. Jake sat in my mother's lap. Mommy, will you be here tomorrow too? He asked. Of course, sweetheart. Mommy will always be here. This sentence killed me. Because I had asked the same question when I was 9 years old. And my mother had said, of course, sweetheart. But she had left. Was it different now? Would she really stay now? One day Jake got sick. He had a fever. My mother stayed by his side all day. She put cold compresses on his forehead. She gave him soup. She never left his side. I had gotten very sick too. When I was 10 years old, I had a very high fever. Grandmother had taken care of me. She had taken very good care of me. But I had always wanted my mother's hand, my mother's voice. My mother's scent. In my mother's new house, there was no room for me. I stayed in the guest room. The walls were empty. I had nothing personal, as if I was a guest. I really was a guest. Emma's room had dozens of toys. Her dolls, books, pictures. The walls were painted pink. It looked very cute. I could have had a room like that too, if my mother had been able to stay. If she had wanted me. One day I asked Emma, has your mother ever left? Where would she go? She said, my mother is always here. Weren't you ever afraid that she would leave? No. Why would she leave? Mothers don't leave, but my mother had left. So some mothers did leave. Jake was smarter. He asked me, are you our sister? Yes, I said. Your half-sister. Why don't you live with us? Because my mother didn't want me. Does she want you now? I didn't know the answer to this question. Did she really want me? Or was she just feeling guilty? When I was alone with my mother, I asked, why don't you abandon them? She was surprised. She wasn't expecting this question. What do you mean? You abandoned me. Why don't you abandon them? She was silent for a long time. She was thinking of the answer, or preparing it. Because I'm ready now, she said. I wasn't ready then, but I'm ready now. What about me? I said, when would you have been ready for me? You. You came too early, she said. I was still a child. I didn't know how to be a mother. What about now? Have you learned how to be a mother now? Yes, she said. Yes, I've learned. Then why don't you do it for me? I want to. But you're grown up now. You don't need mothering anymore. This sentence hurt me very much. Because I still needed mothering. I still wanted to be hugged. I still wanted to hear Mommy's here. I still wanted fairy tales, but it was too late. She had missed that opportunity. I'm sorry, she said. I made a very big mistake. I wish I could turn back time. I wish too, I said. That you can't. One day I met my mother's husband, David. He was a very kind man. He was very warm towards me. He acted as if I was his real daughter. Your mother talks about you a lot, he said. She says she misses you very much. She misses me very much. Then why had 18 years passed? You know, your mother remembers you on every birthday, he said. She calculates how old you are. She wonders how you look. on every birthday. But she had never sent a card. She had never bought a gift. She had never called. Emma and Jake loved me very much. They always wanted to play with me. I read them stories. I played with their toys. I loved them very much. But I was also jealous, because they had grown up with my mother. They had my mother when they were growing up. ID in single quotes T. One day Emma got sick. Something had upset her stomach. She was vomiting. My mother stayed by her side all night. She wiped her forehead. She stroked her hair. She sang songs. Would she do the same for me if I got sick? Or was it only for them? It was Jake's birthday. My mother threw a big party. His cake, balloons, presents. Everything was perfect. Jake was very happy. What had happened on my birthday? Grandmother had made a cake. Father had bought presents. But my mother wasn't there. She was never there. I was about to turn 17. This was an important age. I talked to my mother about this. Will you be with me on my birthday? I asked. Of course, sweetheart. It's a very special day. A very special day. Weren't my previous birthdays special? On my birthday, my mother came. She had brought a big present. A necklace. It was very beautiful. It said, "To my daughter" on it. But this necklace couldn't change the past. It couldn't bring back the lost years. When cutting the cake, my mother said to me, "Make a wish." I closed my eyes. I had only one wish. I wish she had never left, that this wish wouldn't come true, because time doesn't flow backwards. When I turned 18, my mother said to me, "You're grown up now. You're not my daughter anymore. You're my friend." But I wanted to be her daughter, because I had remained 9 years old. Inside me, there was still that little girl, and that little girl wanted her mother. I started university. My mother said she was very proud. She took me to campus. She acted like other families, as if she had always been there. But she wasn't at my high school graduation. She wasn't there when I was taking university exams. She wasn't there when I was making decisions. She was only there at the end. At campus, other girls talked about their mothers, about how they supported them, about how they were always by their side. I also talked about my mother, but I was lying. I talked as if she had always been by my side, because I couldn't tell the truth. I couldn't say my mother abandoned me when I was 9. This was too shameful. Was studying psychology at university. Child psychology interested me a lot. I was learning about the effects of abandonment on children. What I learned made me very sad, because I saw these in myself. Trust issues, fear of abandonment, lack of self-confidence. Children who were abandoned had problems in their relationships when they grew up. They always thought they would be abandoned. They constantly tested. Was like that too. I constantly fought with my boyfriends. I always felt like I would lose them. I would leave first so they wouldn't leave me. When I was 20, I had a serious relationship. Alex, he was a very good boy. He loved me, but I couldn't trust him. I constantly asked, "Are you going to leave me?" He would say, "No." Why would I leave? Because everyone leaves, I would say. Even my mother left. Alex wanted to meet my mother. He took me to his family. It was a very warm family. His mother was very good to me. She acted as if I was her real daughter. But I was jealous of his mother, because she had been a very good mother to Alex. She had never abandoned him. She had always been by his side. When my mother saw Alex, she was very happy. "He's very handsome," she said. "He seems very kind." She acted like a normal mother. Like a normal mother meeting her daughter's boyfriend for the first time. But she wasn't a normal mother. She was a mother who had abandoned me. Alex and I decided to get married. My mother was very happy. She wanted to help plan the wedding. The wedding I dreamed of, she said. My daughter's wedding. My daughter's wedding. That she had missed the years her daughter grew up. Now she just wanted to share the beautiful moments. My mother was very helpful during wedding preparations. She was like a real mother, as if she had always been there. But when choosing the wedding dress, I asked my grandmother's opinion, not hers. Because grandmother had raised me. Grandmother was like my real mother. On the wedding day, my mother cried a lot. I'm so proud, she said. You've become such a beautiful woman. I had become a beautiful woman. But without her, she hadn't seen me become a beautiful woman. She was only seeing the result. At the wedding dance, I danced with my mother, the traditional mother-daughter dance. But I felt very strange, because we had waited 22 years for that dance. While dancing, my mother whispered in my ear, I missed you so much. I'm so sorry. I know, I said. But we can't change the past. We have hope for the future, she said. Can we make a new beginning? A new beginning. But the past was still there. The wounds was still there. After marrying Alex, I started seeing my mother more often. We acted as if we had a real mother-daughter relationship. But there was still a wall between us. Invisible but very real. That wall was from that morning I experienced when I was 9 years old. When I was 25, I got pregnant. My mother was very excited. I'm going to be a grandmother, she said. I'm so happy. She was going to be a grandmother, but she hadn't been a mother to me. Now she was going to be a grandmother to my baby. During pregnancy, she tried to help me a lot. She gave advice. She shared her experiences. But her advice made me angry, because she hadn't been a mother to me. How could she give advice? When my baby was born, my mother cried a lot. So beautiful, she said. Just like you were. Just like you were. But she didn't remember when I was a baby, because she wasn't there. While looking at my baby, I constantly thought, could I ever abandon this baby? Could I ever leave? My answer was very clear. Never. I could never abandon her, because this is my baby. I love her more than my life. I would do anything for her. Then why hadn't my mother done it? Why had she abandoned me? I asked her this question, while my baby was in my arms. Now I'm a mother, I said, and I can't understand. How could I abandon this baby? How could I leave? My mother was very sad. I got sick, she said. I became depressed. Mother had scared me. She had become depressed. She was saying this for the first time. Why hadn't she said it before? Did you get treatment? I asked. No, she said. Nobody understood then. I just wanted to escape. Escape from everything. She had wanted to escape from me too. She had wanted to escape from her own baby. What about now? I said. How do you feel now? I'm very sorry, she said. I made a very big mistake. I wish I could have asked for help then. I wish. A too late wish. Looking at my baby, I understood. Motherhood wasn't easy. It was very hard. A very big responsibility. Very tiring. Very stressful. But at the same time, it was the most beautiful thing. The most meaningful. The most important. My mother might have really been sick. She might have really needed help. She might have really not been ready. But this didn't justify abandoning me. Because I was her baby. Her responsibility. Even if she was sick, even if she wasn't ready, she shouldn't have abandoned me. Now, I'm 27 years old. My mother is still in my life. She's very fond of my baby. She's trying to be a grandmother to her. She's trying to make up for the past. But it can't be made up for, Because lost years are lost years. Unlived memories are unlived memories. Sometimes I look at her and I feel that I love her. Because she's my mother. My blood, my genetics, my first breath retries continue edit. My baby looks like her. Her smile is her smile. But sometimes I look at her and I see a stranger. Because she wasn't there during the most important moments of my life. My first steps, my first words, my first day of school, my first time riding a bicycle, my first love, graduation, university, marriage. She wasn't by my side for any of them. Now she's trying to be by my side. But it's too late. Too late. I'm trying to forgive her. I really am. Because carrying hatred is very exhausting. Very painful. Sometimes I succeed. Sometimes we have beautiful moments together. Sometimes we're really like mother and daughter. But there's still a little girl inside. Me, 9 years old, with her torn-eared bear. And that little girl is still waiting ... Nothing can erase that first night. When my mother didn't come ... And sometimes I ask myself, if her other children also abandoned her, would she come back to me again? Or would she make another choice this time too? I don't know the answer to this question. And maybe I never will. Because once trust is broken, it never fully heals again. I'm still like that little girl. Still expecting to be abandoned. Still expecting to be lost. My mother says, I'm here now. I won't leave anymore. But she had said the same words 18 years ago. She had said Mommy will always be here, and she had. Left. Is it different this time? Will she really stay this time? I don't know. And this uncertainty is killing me. Because a child who has been abandoned once always expects to be abandoned. Always stays ready. Always keeps her suitcase packed. I do the same. I'm always ready. I'm always waiting. But at the same time, I hope. Because she's my mother. And a child can't help but love her mother. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking. That's why I'm telling this story. Because maybe I need someone to understand me. Maybe I need someone to say, you're right. Maybe I need someone to say, you're a good girl. Because for 18 years I've been asking myself, am I a good girl? Do I deserve to be loved? Am I worth staying for? And I'm still not sure. I still don't know. Because the person who should have loved me the most abandoned me. So do I really deserve to be loved?
I hear you. Every word, every feeling, every question. Thank you for being here today and for sharing such a deep wound with us. You know, no child should have to wait for their mother to be ready. You're right. You shouldn't have had to take on that responsibility. But at the same time, the woman who's here today is much stronger than that 9-year-old girl because you can tell this story. And that takes tremendous courage. You don't have to forgive. Forgiveness is a process, a choice, and you'll make that choice in your own time. Remember ... The past wounded you, but it cannot determine who you are. And no wound stays open forever. Asterisk. Now I'm asking you ... If your heart tightened while listening to this story. Maybe you have your own story of abandonment. If you were in her place, would you have answered that message? Do you have something to say to this young woman? Write in the comments, because sometimes a stranger's words can be exactly what we need. And if you've experienced similar pain, know that you're not alone. Asterisk. In the next episode, we'll talk to a young man who discovered that his father saw him as the wrong child, and we'll learn how that discovery completely transformed him into someone else. This is the Confession Room. Don't leave without telling your story. Subscribe to the channel because sometimes a stranger's story becomes the translator for the silence within you. Asterisk.